Scarecrow boat. Exit interview. I am truly sad I'm doing. You know I won't do it again. Saying goodbye to the monster, not an easy task. K170 will miss him, I'll miss him. There's one other person who may say it in way better style than me.
Scott. What can I say? Well, firstly, I'm super happy for you that you managed to get out. Hopefully, you don't get sucked back in. But I think you've got other things going on, so you should be able to stay out. So that's good. What am I going to miss the most? I'm going to say having this moments of epiphany and running some of the dumbest ideas by you regarding the game, and you'd grant me an audience and you'd listen, only to counter with equally as bad ideas. So that was always fun. Anyway, all the best, and we will keep in touch. Take care.
If you're still here and you're still spending, do me a favor. Spend less thanks to Huawei, okay? Poland region has more than 30% cheaper than the regular prices. And if you're out, I truly recommend a more casual and cheaper game, The Ants. Check out all the discounts and how easy it is. Link to my short discount movie is in the description.
Okay, so you know the drill. Anything you say here will be reviewed by you before it's on air, so...
I didn't even realize you did that. You're professional.
Of course, yeah. I don't think anything slipped without my interviewer's consent. Never. Hi guys, today I'm doing the first actual exit interview. This is not something I want to do at all. I want all of you to stay and play this game with me as long as possible. My guest is Scarecrow Boat or Scott. Can you introduce yourself for us?
Yeah, hey everybody, this is Scarecrow Boat from K170. Real name's Scott. Feels a little weird if Muffin calls me Scarecrow Boat, but it feels kind of weird to call her Muffin too, but I have no idea what her real name is, so that's okay. Maybe she'll share it. Yeah, I live in the U.S. Been playing this damn Guns of Galore game for 4 years, and finally calling it quits. And Muffin says this is her first ever exit interview, which I guess is factually correct because I'm leaving before the interview, but we all have seen a few other people leave right after. So I think the curse is still alive.
Oh,
so
come on. Oh, but don't you girls not want to come back? Like, haven't you heard the gossips? So you know.
I have heard the gossip. I'm assuming it's true. The castle's name is Sirio, and there's some kind of the motto said something about the forest. I think you get credit. And I gotta say something. If you had told me when I was a kid and like every other kid, I wanted to be a professional athlete. You told me that my first ever interview outside of a job interview would be over a game that I play on my cell phone and have done so for 4 years. I think I would have just been like, right, I need to do something else in my life.
But well, that's true, and well, come on, now you're a star, so I'm happy to have you here. Okay, so you were playing in K170, but we want to know something about you. So you now this is the moment when you share all your wife's, kids, animals, the place of living, your age, or whatever you want to share with us.
No, sure, yeah. I don't have multiple wives, just one. We've been married 18 years. Despite my craziness, she's stuck around. So that's fantastic. No kids. We have currently have one dog. We've had a couple of others that actually passed away the past few years. And we've fostered a few here and there. We're complete dog lovers. Our dog is spoiled more than most kids out there. Yeah, I work in finance and accounting.
Come again? In what?
In finance and accounting, kind of a little bit of both. And yeah, that's me.
Were you K170 leader, or someone else was?
Yeah, So like a lot of people, I started playing the game because I don't remember exactly. I'm guessing I was bored one night and thought, hey, I'll look for a cell phone game to play. And if the advertisement had said, hey, you're going to waste so much money you wouldn't believe it, and so much time you wouldn't believe that either, I probably wouldn't have downloaded it. But I downloaded it, and yeah, I was plopped right into K170. I had no idea what was going on. I messaged probably in like the Kingdom chat, and one of my buddies who actually has taken over my castle, he kind of took me under his wing. His name's Danny, and showed me the ropes. And I think he's also the son of a bitch. Oh wait, am I allowed to curse on this, or should I not?
Can you repeat the name of your complice? How to say it? Accomplice in crime? How is this phrase?
Oh, his name is Danny.
Danny.
Yeah. So he is the first one that even told me, hey, you can spend on this game and things go faster. So I remember I bought it was the like opulence gear or something for $5 to speed up my castle build, and then it was downhill from there. But I wasn't kingdom leader at all for the first probably 2 years. We had one guy that was named Joe that was king for the first like 2 years. Then he kind of started to fade away a little bit. We all kind of got annoyed at him always being king. Had a little bit of internal kingdom drama there for a bit, but then some people quit, some people didn't, and then so I kind of was probably one of the kingdom leaders, the last couple maybe 2.5 years, something like that. Frank and Chippy. Mm-hmm. Frank used to kill each other all the time in those early days, and we never would have thought that we'd end up being closer. Probably one of my closest friends in the game. So yeah, that was that, and then I probably started getting into KvK. I played, but sometimes I would be strong enough to like hold a tower, but usually I would just kind of join rallies, and it was on Saturday, so I wasn't that active. And then I don't remember exactly. At some point I got hooked on it, and then when I kind of basically had like a leadership void, and like our KvKs were extremely unorganized. We had Brez, who at the time was like one of the top 30 players in the game for probably like the first 2 years he was.
I recall that name. I recall it.
Yeah. He was a monster. We just kind of wasted because we never organized anything. We regularly invaded. When people invaded us, we were just kind of running around like chickens with their heads cut off. So it was, I kind of got into it right probably a little before COVID, and started organizing, kind of wrote up some stuff of, hey, here's some guidelines we could follow. And then COVID hit, and it was just, I have not much else to do. So I got super into it and started organizing things even more, wrote up kind of a KvK manifesto type thing, and, started strategizing, and of course, spending more.
So you are leaving 170 in good hands, right?
Yeah, for sure. So I was just one of the people. People probably recognize my name a little more than others just because there's KvK videos and all that. Hungarian Red from 102. I think everyone probably knows who he is. He's been a monster as long as I've been in the game, at least. Yeah. And then Maximus from 139. I don't think anybody knew who he was. I'd never talked to him. He didn't even tell us he was applying. He just applied, and I was like, who is this mystery sixth person? Because we had 6 applicants, and we found out finally when the day after migration that we saw this 5 billion power C45 in our kingdom, and realized who he was. And so he was 5 billion power when he joined 170. That was what, three-ish months ago. Mm-hmm. He's 23 billion power now.
Oh my god, I totally missed it.
Yeah. He's wild. So and he's always had big stats. I just don't think many people knew about it. He's kind of busy on Saturday, so he Mac returns from 139. That he had said that Max didn't have time for a lot of the KvK, so he's here now. He's getting into KvK a little more. We've got some smart people in the kingdom that have taught him a lot of stuff. I think he's getting a little more into it, so hopefully we keep seeing him become more active.
So you motivated him.
Yeah, I hope so. He's got a strong castle, that's for sure, and he's learning how to play more and more every day. But he beat Icano in a couple rallies this last KvK, so that says a lot.
Okay, let me come back to one sentence you said that about the interviews. I assume that you've heard some of my interviews. Is that correct?
I don't even know who you are. I've never listened to anything. Yes, I probably all of them. Generally, I listen to them while I'm out running, so I don't know that I remember all the details. But yeah, I've heard.
While you were listening to all these guys or girls, what was your biggest surprise among the player and the actual human being behind the curtains?
Well, so nobody surprised me that much actually, because I think I've known every person that you've interviewed from the monster room on online. And Chris B isn't in there, but I had talked to him several times, so I wasn't really shocked by much from the interview. I thought they were really interesting, and the rookie and Seki one was fun too. But nothing really surprised me all that much. I had dollar figures in my head for all these people, and nobody actually gave their exact number. So they were super interesting, but nothing was crazy surprising.
We already know you left the game. You also left all the chat rooms, so you wouldn't be tempted to come back. The inevitable question is, what was the reason to leave?
Yeah, I've been playing for 4 years. Spent a whole bunch of money, way too much time, and one of the big things is the only reason I enjoy the game is for KvK, because I think it's just super fun. I like everything about it. I like helping lead the kingdom, all the interaction with everybody, the strategy, seeing the big rallies, and then I like everybody. The social part of the game is what kind of kept me around, because in 4 years you make legitimate friends, and I live in Kentucky, in the middle of the country. If you know anything about our state, it's not the most diverse state. I think I've met more people from around the globe, playing this game than I have in real life. So that's been pretty cool. I wake up early. It works out well for me, but it starts on the time of the year at 5 or 6 a.m. So the first few hours I'm good. I don't have anything else going on. But then the rest of the day, I'm hopping on when I can, or we're out doing something with family or friends, and I'm like sneaking away to check my phone, or doing that. And it's like, I'm 41 years old. Should I really be doing that? Kind of the rush just isn't there anymore. So maybe 7-8 months ago, I'd kind of been in most situations in the game where it's just kind of like, all right, this is another one. And so it was still fun, but that rush definitely isn't there. And if you're not getting that, is it really worth spending this huge sum of money, or would you rather try to find something else to kind of channel that energy that might be less expensive, or at least can be done on at times that you prefer? So that kind of pushed me to it, and then okay, well, we're going through this migration. I don't want to just leave, help everybody get settled in, and play KvK, but I just wouldn't be a stat leader anymore. And I still enjoyed it, but just kind of the fire kind of faded.
I was afraid of some sort of a sudden situation or a sudden change in your real life, but this is the material I can work on. Maybe you will come back as well. I really hope so.
I don't think anything's slowing down, and if I'm them, I don't think it should. They've got this business model that's worked. They keep people hooked, and as much as everybody, including me, complains about the frequency of updates and all that, it's also partly what keeps people around. Like if you're somebody that's maxing your stats and new stats only come out once every 3 months, it's got to be a little less exciting, and there's not much opportunity to get ahead. Everybody's looking for a competitive advantage. Well, if you're somebody that maxes your stats, and maybe there's this imperial research, maybe you buy it every single time, and one person misses it a couple days, and that kind of thing. So I don't know. I don't see it changing, and I think with most people, it's going to kind of run its course. People are going to play it as long as they get the excitement from it and enjoy hanging out with other people, and then they'll walk away. And I haven't played other mobile games, so I don't know. I've just kind of heard that they tend to kind of run through this cycle, and they tend to die off within 5 or 6 years. So I don't know if that'll be the case for this one or not.
I remember our university or Monkey Talk, like quite fresh items, and you seemed very well orientated about the prices and caps. So was that the moment when you were already spending less?
I don't remember it's probably 4 months ago. It is my best guess. I don't remember exactly where I went. I probably cut about 90%. I probably went down by about 90%. When I started playing this game, somebody told me, hey, 4 years from now, you're gonna spend 90% less, and it's still gonna be this actually realistic amount. I would have been like, you're out of your mind.
You mentioned money, so I need to ask, or try to ask you, do you know how much have you spent, or how much were you spending monthly in your best times, let's say, or worst, depending how you look at it?
I was pretty steady for about 2 years there, and it was one of your interviewees talks about Toyota Corolla, so I've definitely purchased my fair share of Toyota Corollas over the course of. I won't give an exact dollar amount just because that kind of stuff's. I don't have an exact dollar amount, but it's all too much. Like no matter how much you have, no matter where you fall on the scale, anything's too much because that money could go to so many other things. You're a billionaire, and that means absolutely nothing. That's still $1 million for months. So it's just kind of crazy that we what we spend for the that addictive rush and for the entertainment.
I hope you were entertained as at least this. Tell me this at least.
So I loved playing KvK. I got a super rush from it. I loved when we were matched with somebody that was a little stronger. Basically, I loved when we matched with anybody that was the same strength or stronger up to a certain point. I hated when we matched with 171 because I can't stand that freaking kingdom. But they were so strong that it didn't matter. It's like if you're, I don't know if you're into sports or not, but like if saying like 170 was a rival with 171 would be like saying that a community college is a rival with like, the University of Kentucky basketball team. It's, we can't stand them and want to beat them, but it's never ever going to happen. But I loved when we were matched with kingdoms that were stronger, and that was just so much fun because we typically had a chance to hold, but to do so we had to use strategy, and there's going to be a lot of rallies, a lot of fights, a lot of troops dead. So yeah, I sure loved it, and there's some really good people in 170 that I'm going to miss, and I will probably join some line rooms back just to hang out because really, like the Monster Room, probably 90% of the talks is not about the game.
Yeah.
It's just because we're friends and we like to hang out and talk about stuff. So I'll probably join back, just maybe take a little time away so I'm not tempted to jump back in.
How do you imagine K170 in the nearest future without you? Knowing that you have many stars.
So I don't really think it'll be any different. It's that 170 is at the level of a few other teams where basically we can't hang with 52 or 171. There's just not. You can kind of move. You can try to move the chess pieces any way you want it, but unless they just completely screw up and somebody's offline for the day, you're not going to beat them. So it's basically just submitting, maybe do a few rallies for fun versus them, and then everybody else we can at least have a good fight with or conquer. We've got a few friends that we won't fight. So I think that it's not going to change anything. They're still going to fight. What I hope, and I expressed this the last KvK, and I was happy to see them follow through, is the reason the thing that I think separated 170 from a lot of other kingdoms, and 170 isn't the only kingdom like this, is that we're willing to fight anybody, regardless of who the third kingdom is, that wasn't one of our allies. Even if they're the same strength as us, or even a tiny bit stronger, we're still going to play aggressive and fight them because you're playing this game, you're spending a bunch of money, you're spending a bunch of time. You've got one event that's one fantastic event, so you need to make the most of it. Why in the hell do we spend time and money training troops if you're not going to use them for the game you're playing? So I've never understood that mentality. So there's a lot of people in 170 that love those fights. They've been doing them for a long time, so I think they'll keep up with that, and I hope that they keep that mentality. I see so many kingdoms that they match, and they like, okay, well, we'll take the easiest of the three, we'll nap with the other one, and then they get one mega rally for the throne, and then maybe 1 mega rally in a tower, and that's the day. Like, if I'm doing that every week, why in the hell am I playing this game? Because that's just not fun. Like that fight that 52 and 171 had. It's one of the probably 5 KvKs where 52 hasn't conquered somebody. But I almost guarantee that they all had more fun playing that one than any other time when they conquered anyone.
Oh, I may assure you, it was the case. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. It's the full day. And my favorites were all the ones where we defended versus somebody stronger. Whether they came because we provoked or they just came because they were going to. But those back and forth fights, that's what it's all about. And if you just take the easy way and try to nap with everybody, then for me, it just isn't fun. And I know for a lot of people in 170, they feel the same. I hear my dog bark.
Yeah, yeah, I hear him.
Every day at least once I work mostly from home, and like most of the day on Teams calls, so he has to announce his presence at least once.
You just said that, but just to be sure, Hungarian Red and Frankie Chippy are maxed at the moment?
No, so Hungarian Red is maxed, and then Maximus is also maxed.
Maximus. Wow.
Maximus he lacks. He's a little behind on Imperial research.
Mm-hmm.
So he's maxed, but when you put him up against the 2 guys in 52 and the 3 people in 171, there's a big difference. But yeah, huge stats. And then Frank has huge stats. They're not max stats.
I need to ask about the KvK with 171. Was there any nub breaking situation in there?
Was there a what situation?
Nub breaking. Someone broke the nub?
Yeah, so this was, when was this? Like,
remember you don't play. Remember you don't play anymore, so you may be blunt.
Yeah. So, my wife and I were going on vacation, so we had a flight that Saturday morning, and this was before my migrations. So I was just telling everybody, okay, I just hope we don't get 171 because I feel like we have a chance to hold against them. We already can't stand that damn kingdom, and so of course we matched with them. So it was us. So it was 170, 171, 200, and Bear is one of my other very good friends outside of 170 who we've been allies with that kingdom a lot. So all right, we actually have a chance here. It went back and forth. I don't remember all the details, but Bear was coming and helping us, and not knocking them out of like we would do basically a dual kingdom, double mega, or triple mega. Bear was talking to Inca, and he asked about Nat. Bear said yes, let's do it. He shared the screenshots. Bear said, okay, so we all hold our kingdoms, and he said yes. So it looked to me like, okay, this is the through-in app. I saw these screenshots later. Everybody's happy about it. So with Tuan frozen in 170, and both my castle and Frank's stronger than Inca, who was in the 171 throne, we left him alone. And then 5 hours later, I actually logged in from my hotel room, and Tuan was launching a mega rally on 170, and I was so. And so if I had been online, I would have reached out to Inca myself and just confirmed that there was an app. So that didn't happen, and to me, it was very clear that what Inca had said was nap, but whatever, they said it wasn't. I think most likely Tuan wasn't consulted and logged back on and said, well, we didn't really talk to 170, it wasn't nap, so let's just fight him. That's my guess. I could be completely wrong. I don't know. So anyway, they mega rallied 170. Bear was offline at that point, and then ended up holding for the amount of time needed. And it's just so frustrating because there was a whole 4 or 5 hours where Tuan was offline before we could have set 171's throne. And if we did that, Tuan would have had to come back, kick us out of 171, then come back to 170. We could have potentially, we would have frozen him. We would have had a chance to double him out. We would have just had such a much better situation where they would have had to worry about their throne on their occupation, not because both of us and 200 had been in their throne throughout the day. So it was super frustrating, and I hate that damn kingdom. They'd beaten us before, and then we had them in the event that lasted 7 weeks.
Uncharted Seas.
Yes, we had them in Uncharted Seas. So the damn matchups being, just going in consecutive order. So we had them and 169, and they just destroyed us, of course, because they had Swan and they're a really strong kingdom, and just talked so much in the kingdom chat. And then we had that idiot from 169, Ahmed, talking crap. That just kind of built the hatred between the two kingdoms. So that's like the only kingdom that I really dislike.
There's a like saying or a situation that only 33 or 52 hate 171, and this is personal and so on. So I see this is not the case, that many others don't like them very much.
So everybody I've talked to, I've never come across somebody that is like, yeah, we're friends with 171. We love those guys. No, never. Nobody says that. Nobody says, yeah, it's one Escher are great players. We love them. They're like, no, those guys are a bunch of jerks.
Do you remember any surprising or weird outcome during KvK? For example, you were matched with very weak kingdom, but you lost, or something similar.
Way back, we had Darius's kingdom, which he's been gone for a while, but he was a monster. I don't know if you remember him.
Who? Come again?
Darius, was it?
Darius. Yes, he's a Polish guy. Of course, I remember him.
Yeah. Yeah. So we matched them, and then 102 was Hungry Bread. So we're like, oh, yeah, this is rough. So Darius comes to us. He wins the rally, but then doesn't make a garrison and add troops. So I soloed and knocked him out. We froze him and we went to his kingdom, and we held their throne, killed all our towers, and he messaged me. I don't remember what he said, but he was pissed that we're in the throne. So we ended up getting an agreement to nap. So I was like, all right, hell yeah, we survived part one of this. Oh, but then there's Hungarian Red over in 102, and he's a lot stronger than us. So, of course, once they close, then they come and visit. This was also when the new guards kind of came out, so not everybody fully understood them. So his stats were just so much far ahead of mine, and I don't remember if Frank was playing or Brez at the time, but anyway, they took our throne. We actually were able to knock them out a couple times, and then we're fighting for towers, and we're about to launch a double mega. So I'm in the forest, and he starts throwing solos at my castle because I was only playing with, I don't know, 2.5 billion power or something at the time. This was before it was easy to train a lot of troops. And so I decide I need to heal. So I heal my troops. And then here comes another red solo. And all of a sudden my screen goes blank. And I realize I've just been ported out of the forest because he solo burned my castle. Because I was in training gear.
Of course.
So I'm now out in the middle of nowhere and just lost he knows a ton of troops from that hit, and I'm like, all right, screw this, I'm going back in the forest. We'll see if he'll hit me again. So I heal up, I jump back in the forest. My screen goes black again, and I realized that I went back into the forest again in training gear, or in the healing gear, whatever. So I lost a billion power or something for absolutely no reason from training gear. So then we're like, I think we gave up at that point. I was like, okay, I have only distance troops left, and I can launch a rally from outside the forest, and I have one march to go. We finally gave up. So that was kind of a bummer. It was kind of funny that he ended up coming to our kingdom after he was probably like a million troops away from zeroing me.
Hungarian Red just said, oh my god, I need to teach this guy how to play, and he joined your kingdom.
He's like, this dude is freaking clueless. I don't know how they have a bunch of stars in their kingdom, but I almost zeroed him multiple times. I don't know what's going on.
When I was reviewing your KvK material today, I have to say I spotted two things. One, I already mentioned when I edited your previous KvK, was that you're a master of refueling. You do it precisely to 1 second, which is not so easy, so kudos for that. And another thing is, not sure if that's a 170 thing or yours, or maybe I was just clueless, but you were refueling with infantry. Is this your usual thing or your secret method to refuel?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's most people probably realize that in the rallies, infantry die first. Yeah, I say most people realize, but they don't, because I'm sure you've seen this. You'll notice that if you launch a mega, 20 minutes after you, so let's say somebody comes in and wins with a mega on your throne, and then you launch a double to try to kick them out, and you'll notice maybe this time you won the first leg, and you're like, how in the hell did that happen? And it's because they messed up and sent their normal march to refill, but your infantry are always going to die. So yeah, it should always be heavy infantry on the re-in, and it's so hard to get everybody on the same page of that because we're all used to our presets, clicking the presets and sending. So it's so hard to get everybody used to that. But yeah, I'm annoying in chat on KvK because I say it over and over. So I'm always like, refill with infantry, and then I'm always telling everybody, all right, double's coming. You have to time your in ahead of time, speed, because the game's gonna glitch and crash. You cannot wait till the last second to hit the speed button. So people learn, yeah, you gotta send infantry to re-in. That's what you need to refill with, because you'll see some crazy marches with the leaders too, because the leaders, if they can't leave the throne to kind of reset their march, you'll end up you'll have somebody like Twan, who all of a sudden has 1.2 million distance troops, and then the rest of the people have to kind of compensate to offset that, because it's fine if he has 1.2 million distance if then somebody else has 1.2 million infantry, but most people aren't gonna do that.
And there's another thing. If you refill solely with infantry, you may assume that it will die completely. So people don't want to do it, for the...
Oh, yeah, you're right. It's no fun to... So you send full infantry, they're all going to die, and you're not going to get any kills for it. So people that are looking for the name on those leaderboards and don't want to lose the most power, they're going to be hesitant. You see how kingdoms play and play KvK when they're not fighting. It's because they've got people that just spent, $5,000 in the last month on their stats, and then they're like, well, but I don't want to lose a march. So why the hell did you buy the stat? So
I haven't prepared any fun questions for you. So you may answer my usual questions. Do you have any tattoos?
No tattoos.
What's your zodiac sign?
The horoscope thing? Scorpio.
Scorpio. Oh, that...
If you ask me what that means, I have no idea.
Okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Do you have any word of wisdom for these who still play the game?
I'm not going to do the thing of get away, it's a trap. I think everybody that's playing realizes that, the game is what it is. I would just say kind of what we talked about some, or what I've babbled on about, is if you're going to play the game, play in a way that's going to let you have the most fun. Which for me in the kingdom, it was to be aggressive, go out there and have whatever fight you can. If you're going to make friends, then honor those friendships, honor the naps if you have them, but whenever you can, have fun. Who gives a shit if you lose some troops? It's a game. You have troops for the whole purpose of them fighting. You think 170, just like every other kingdom, the majority of the people there, they're smarter than I am. They don't spend money on the stupid game. They maybe they buy like a couple dollar packs here and there, but so losing one march is a big deal to them. So if they're having fun and committed, and you have 100 of those people, then that goes a long way in terms of having troops for rallies. So hopefully everybody has realized that now, and realizes, hey, it's not just about the people at the top. You need to support the kingdom, and to do that, don't run a dictatorship. Make sure everybody's involved, and make sure that they're having fun playing too, because it's a damn game, and people shouldn't play it unless they're having fun. So I was really fortunate to land in the kingdom where there's good people there, and they kind of let me be one of the leaders and listen to me. And when I babbled on and told them to send this march, send that march, don't do freaking Red Guard rallies during KvK, that kind of thing. So yeah, that's, I guess, what I would share.
We're doing it in form of a call, not in form of a video chat. but I may say I'm nodding and smiling a lot because we agree. We usually agree on many things. And I am so sorry that you are leaving, and I cannot believe it because you were always here or there. So in the schoolroom, and you always had brilliant thoughts. And I see how you play KvK, and it's also brilliant. So do you have any? And you're gone for a week. Do you have any secret to share? No one knows yet.
If there was really something that only I knew, that nobody else knew, I would tell 170 and would tell everybody out there. But I don't think those really exist. I think it's like most things is a competitive advantage can be gained when a variable changes, right? So when new guards are released, when new research comes out and there's a decision point, then a competitive advantage can be gained. But when new equipment comes out, there's you spend the most you can on the equipment and max it. That's the competitive advantage. There's no advantage, right, in using your brain. But when new guards come out, then it's like, okay, well, let's figure out the right march, that kind of thing. Now you have to have somebody that's willing to spend the money to do it. They have to, you got to have all the stars on. But I say that this game's been going for close to 5 years now.
Mm-hmm.
There are still so many people that are playing that don't understand things about KvK, like the way that the bubble works, the invasion bubble. If you really kind of study that, I think it can help a little bit within reason, right? Like, nobody's going to fight off 52 and 171. My favorite KvK ever was it was 170. 236, which was when MNH was max. I don't know if you remember him.
I know right 236. Yes.
There was very few single rallies. I think we held versus a double and a triple at the end of the day. We won a couple doubles. They won quite a few doubles, just back and forth, and actually kind of moving the chess pieces. I had more fun in that KvK, and I basically spent 6 of the 8 hours that the good fight were going just frozen in 236 doing nothing. I had the most fun just kind of watching, and of course I was kind of barking orders and annoying people off and on.
And who won? Who conquered or who kept?
Oh yeah, so that one 236 conquered 305, and we held home, which was
a victory.
We were never gonna win any other kingdom. We were just ecstatic to hold home.
Okay, so you're the guy who's barking orders. Okay.
Oh yeah, yelling at people. And I'm sure everybody's experienced this. You kind of get in that rhythm where you don't have to say as much, and then you have migrations, and now you have, it's hard just to have room in one alliance for all the people that want to fight KvK, and then people aren't really used to, okay, when do I say stuff? So now anytime you're trying to time a combo mega, you have 50 different people posting in chat or posting chords to this, or somebody logging on and say, hey, where do you need me? So so my barking orders was probably even louder over the last 3 months, and I even would kick people out of the alliance often because we'd have somebody join with the wrong troops to a rally, and the rally leader didn't even hear me saying, hey, you need to kick them. So the only way to do it is to kick them out of the alliance. If they're not paying attention there. So lots of fun stuff. So hopefully if I did that, I would generally send them a message, say, hey, here's why I did this. So hopefully I didn't rub it in my comments.
Okay, Scott. I cannot believe I would call you other way than Scott, because you're not Scarecrow Boat. It was my pleasure, and I'm really happy that I did your exit interview, and I do hope it's my last, because it is so sad to see you go. Do you have any question you want to ask for yourself, or do you have any questions for me?
What's your name? Well, yeah, it was my pleasure, and I can't remember. I feel like I wanted to kind of shout out a few people. I don't remember if we did that.
Yeah, please do. If you want to, of course.
Yeah, well, I guess just kind of share the people in 170 that there's a ton of people there that I love spending time with, that talking to and playing the game with. So I'm not going to try to list everybody because that would be kind of boring for everybody. but just yeah, I guess just a few people I'll kind of shout out is Danny, who he's taken over my castle, and he was we kind of hung out from day one, and talked through a lot of real life ups and downs too. So he's a good friend. I'm gonna miss him. And then Frank, who's Frank and Chippy, we've that's been kind of cool to see that relationship evolve from when we used to kill each other all the time, and our alliances would fight every kill event, to kind of being partners in crime and helping lead the kingdom. So that's been a lot of fun. And him and I are both huge movie buffs, so I think we'll stay connected through that. And then there's some awesome leaders in 170, and Bastion and we are actually a couple that are two of the leaders in the kingdom, which amazes me that a couple can play this game together. But hats off to them. So that's been pretty cool. And my three closest friends in the game, Indy, Allen, and Avni, were their names. They all quit about at varying times between 6 months to a year ago. So they that kind of not hanging out with them anymore is one of the reasons that kind of led to the game not being quite as much fun. Still a lot of people I really enjoyed hanging out with, but those are kind of the three guys that I was the closest to, which is cool too, because none of them live in the U.S. They all live in other countries, so it was cool to get to meet them. And then outside of 170, Bushmaster is probably the guy that I talk to the most. If you ever want to learn about KvK strategies, about how the invasion bubble works, talk to him. Him and I would do line calls and bounce ideas off each other. I remember telling him one time, if he thought of something that nobody else would even think about, he's like, I know the one person who talks about that. We talk about just different stuff with using all kinds of different things. I won't spill our secrets, but he's a good dude. Him and Ant are the two that I probably talked about the game the most. Those two guys, and Bear a lot too. And then Luca probably, he's not playing anymore, but those are the four guys that really close to him, talking about the game, strategies, and march composition, and all that stuff. So I'll miss talking Guns of Glory with those guys.
Yeah, you're mentioning all these guys I truly adore. So yeah, you're in my team again.
yeah, good dudes. Yeah.
Very good dudes. Okay, Scott. So I have no reason to I have no other question to ask you. So thank you very much. And I cannot say see you on battlefield, but see you around, I think.
Yeah, you'll see me around online. So I'm not gonna delete line,
right?
Because there's too good of people that I talk to just do that. So I'd love to stay in touch with people. But yeah, it was fun talking to you, and I have no idea if this is interesting stuff or not, because I'm just babbling on and on about old KvKs and that kind of stuff. So I don't know. Hopefully a handful of people thinks it's interesting enough. But you do an awesome job interviewing. I've really enjoyed listening to all your other interviews. The one thing I'm bummed about with this one is I feel like everybody you interview has this awesome accent. So you've got Lute, who's got this country ass Tennessee accent, which is fantastic, and then you interviewed a couple British dudes, and which everybody loves a British accent. So listen to those guys was great. So then you've got me here from Kentucky. So I don't know that quite compares with that, but I'll have to go back and listen to some other ones just to get my fix on the awesome accents of the people you've interviewed.
Thank you very much, Scott, and you may wait for an invitation from me to Monsters Room, and see you there.
All right, sounds good.